Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has once again reacted on the entire episode of killing of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Canada by unknown gunmen, which he says those who were affiliated with Indian government and they were apparently Indian agents. He had said that he had credible evidences for such allegations. When the similar questions was asked to Justin Trudeau in the recent media interaction about the whole Canadian government's the entire episode. After a brief pause, Canadian Prime Minister said that that the killing of Canadian citizens on Canadian soil by a foreign government is an extremely serious issue, and the credible allegations that agents of the Indian government were involved in, that is something that we did not declare lightly, but our responsibility to protect all Canadians from illegal actions by foreign government is something that, as a country grounded in diversity, and we need to take it seriously. So he is not moving from his allegations that there were agents which were affiliated with the government and who were responsible for the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, which Canadian government calls a separatist leader. And we know that in the past also Canada has allowed for the many separatist leaders to operate from the soil of Canada, and they have been mostly propagandists, they have been specialists, and they have been calling for annexation of Indian Punjab into to make a larger Khalistani group land. So that is why India has been raising such serious objection with the Canadian government, but we have hardly seen any action on ground, and which has largely to do with the political accommodation these elements have gotten in the Canadian societal and political system. Many of them are also supporting an alliance government that Canadian Prime Minister is currently leading with. He is not on a majority, and he needs support from such smaller parties which are known as sympathizers for these Khalistani separatist groups and sentiments in Canada. Earlier, the entire diplomatic draw that erupted between Canada and India because of the allegations that Canadian Prime Minister made against the Indian government and its so-called agents, that has resulted in a massive diplomatic draw, resulting in the removal of about 40 Canadian diplomats who were sent back to Canada. Also, Indian government has in the past alleged that many of these Canadian diplomats were also trying to monitor and interfere into the domestic affairs of India, and that was one of the reasons why so many Canadian diplomats were sent back. India sent them back also on the account of seeking a parity on the diplomatic strength between the two sides. So as many Indian diplomats will be stationed in Canada, same number of Canadian diplomats are now being allowed to operate in various missions in Canada. We'll have to see from here onwards if the Canadian side's stubbornness remains like this, how the India-Canada government's bilateral relationship prepare. However, during the same interaction, Justin Trudeau also said that he wants to engage with the Canadian government in a more constructive way. How does he explain those constructivity that he used to receive? But for now, his stance has been very clear that he believes that there were certain elements which were affiliated with the Indian government who were involved in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, but there has not been any evidence that the Canadian government has so far shared with India, and he himself has been avoiding to share them publicly also in his own platform in Canada also.
The killing of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil is something that we all should take extremely seriously. And the credible allegations that agents of the Indian government were involved in that is something that we did not declare lightly, but our responsibility to protect all Canadians from illegal actions by foreign governments is something that, as a country grounded in diversity, we need to take very seriously. That's why we've been unequivocal about standing up for the rule of law and ensuring that the appropriate investigations are being done in full accordance with our justice system and our police independence. At the same time, we're looking to work constructively with the Government of India to get to the bottom of this, to understand how this could have happened, and to make sure that no Canadians are ever vulnerable again to foreign interference by any international power.